Today I'm going to show how I make these buckets. These are wicking buckets. I'm going to show the tools I'm going to use, and then I'm going to show the actual shit I'll be using. These will be the tools that I use today to make this. My drill, my impact drill, 1/2-inch drill bit so I get a 1/2-inch hole, some drain pipe cutters, marker, knife, tape measure, and another pipe cutter for bigger pipe. And just want to show what tools I'll be using. I'll be putting together to make this wicked bucket. These are going to be the materials needed. You're going to need a bucket, a piece of drain pipe. I just used a gray electrical conduit, 3/4 inch. I cut it in half. It was a 10-foot length. Piece of 3-inch ABS, a lid, an old t-shirt, and a bucket. So this is going to be your and you're obviously going to need dirt and all that shit too, right? But as far as the hardware, and that's all you're really going to need. All this is cheap. You can get a bucket, $4. It was $5 for a 10-foot length of that. Lid was $2. That was scrap. You can get a length of that cheap, or scrap from a buddy, an old t-shirt or towel, any kind of cotton material. So I went ahead and marked my bucket. I'll mark my 4-inch from the bottom of the bucket. That's where my drain port's going to be. I'm going to drill that with that 1/2-inch drill bit. With this drain, what you'll see I'm going to make out of it, it's not a drain actually, it's a holder. Since that was 4 inches, I went 4 3/4, just for 4.5 inches on this pipe. Make sure it's bigger than the hole you're going to drill in your bucket, at least by 1/2 inch. So the hole in my bucket is going to be 4 inches from the bottom. This is going to be 4.5 inches from the top of this pipe, or bottom of this pipe, however you're looking at it, to where I cut it. Then with this drain, I just basically made it higher than the bucket, so just an eyed up measurement off my other buckets. I just held it to the ground and measured it, but usually anywhere from almost just shy of your hip from the ground up. Make your mark and cut that. I'll cut all this. I'll cut this lid. I got to cut that ring around, that outer ring right there. I got to cut that out so it slides in the bucket. You'll see. Stay tuned. So now that I got everything cut and made, your lid should look like this. Okay, I cut that edge off of it so it can fit in this bucket. Your bucket should have a hole in it, a drain port hole, and that inner collared. Oh fuck! My bad. You have to put holes in it. You have to put holes in it so water can pass through it and it don't trap air. So now you want to take this piece. This is going to sit in your bucket like this. You're going to take your PVC piece like this, and it's going to go through the center part. I'm sorry, not the center part, the edge part. So this part goes in the edge, not the center. Then you're going to pull the t-shirt through the center as the t-shirt hangs in there. I'll show you as it all set up. That's how it's going to sit inside of your bucket. Except that bottom part will be all in water, and that will suck the water up into the t-shirt, which will soak the dirt that we put on top. You'll see. But that's how it should look set up in your bucket. Now I have that black part dead in the center of the bucket with the t-shirt through it like I showed earlier, and now the t-shirt bunched up. What I'm going to do now is pour dirt in this bucket all the way up to the brim. And then I'm going to plant my plant and fill up the water right here. It'll fill up in the bottom. It will never overflow because of my porthole. And it will feed it, your plant, whatever you're growing, from the roots up. It's called a wicking bucket. Look it up. I'm showing you guys how to do it Bruce Lee style. Now I planted it. Filled it up with dirt. Put my plant in it. Now I'm just going to add water right through here. Fill up the bottom. And spread out that hole once I know it's full. See the dirt line, and then that t-shirt will soak that water up into that dirt and feed this plant from the roots. Now you can do this with any size bucket too. And remember, the bigger the better. So if you use like a big Herbie Curb garbage can and a lid inside and do it, the more dirt you can be in, the bigger your plant's going to be. I just use 5-gallon buckets because they're small and my plants won't get so much as tall but wide, and then I'll be able to bring them in the house. I put bags over the top of them like that so spiders and shit don't crawl in there and put fucking nests and block the hole. But yeah, and you can put plant pellet food down in there too and let it soak in that water that I fill up in the bottom. It'll feed the plant from the bottom up, man. Wicking buckets. Brucey B style. You're welcome. Now my lovely assistant is going to show you. She's going to fill that up. You don't want this to touch the bottom of the fucking canola. Now she fills that up. From there, we'll see it overflow out the bottom of that hole. And then you know we have enough. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Oh. I know it takes a while. Keep going. Keep going, it's almost there. Bang, now we're pissing out the hole. Now we know we have full. Now, you can just always add a little bit of water. You can always add a little bit of water to the top. Just like that. A little bit of water, I just planted. A little bit of water. A little bit of water, a little bit of water. Where's it going to be? Now what you can do is you can cut a pool noodle foam and put it in that hole. And it will bob. If it's full, it'll bob all the way up. And you'll know when it's empty, when it's down. I'm not getting that deep with it. I'll just check it. When the soil looks dry, I know I should fill it up at the bottom. But that's how you do it, man. Wicking bucket. Brucey.